The first time Ellie saw him, he was fixing a broken fence on the edge of her grandmother's dried-up property, dust clinging to his boots, hat tilted low, and a quiet strength in the way he moved. She assumed he was just another drifter, one of the nameless cowboys who passed through the Texas plains looking for a meal, a few dollars, and a place to rest. She didn't know that the man hammering weathered boards under the blistering sun wasn't just any ranch hand. He was Cole Bennett, the man who quietly owned nearly half the state. She had no reason to believe otherwise. He spoke little. Slept in the barn without complaint. Ate dinner in silence, politely declining seconds. His dark eyes hid decades of heartbreak, and Ellie, fresh from college and bitter from a recent betrayal, wanted nothing to do with another mysterious man. But fate doesn't ask for permission. Ellie had returned to her grandmother's rundown ranch in West Texas to help sell the land. Years of drought and debt had worn down both the soil and the spirit of the once thriving homestead. She had plans to restart her life in Austin, maybe teach, maybe write, maybe forget the man who had promised her the world and disappeared when she needed him most. She didn't expect to find a stranger mending their broken fences for free. "Grandma, who is that?" Ellie asked one evening, peeking through the cracked window. Her grandmother's frail voice answered from the porch, "That's Cole. He shows up every spring, helps out a few days. Never asks for anything. Been doing it for years." "Why?" "Maybe he's got ghosts out here," her grandmother replied with a distant look. Cole didn't speak much, but Ellie had a way of poking the quiet out of people. She'd bring him water while he worked, asking him questions he didn't want to answer. At first, he gave short replies, sometimes just a nod. But there was something in Ellie's eyes, fire and sorrow, that he recognized. A woman betrayed by the world. Just like him. One evening, as the sunset melted into the prairie, Ellie found Cole sitting by the corral, watching the sky like it owed him something. She sat beside him, silence stretching between them until he said, "This land used to belong to someone I loved." Ellie looked over. "What happened?" "She died," he said. "Cancer. 10 years ago. She was my wife." The confession hit like a desert storm, sudden and full of emotion. "I haven't felt anything since," he added quietly. "Till now." As days passed, Ellie noticed things. How ranchers from neighboring counties nodded respectfully at Cole when he passed. How bankers and attorneys sometimes drove up dusty roads to speak with him briefly. One afternoon, she caught him on the phone, giving orders about water rights and land deals with the authority of someone used to being obeyed. "You're not just a cowboy, are you?" she asked later. He hesitated. Then finally admitted, "No. My family built most of this region. I inherited more than I ever wanted." "Then why are you out here, fixing fences?" He looked at her with a haunted softness. "Because out here, I remember who I was, before money, before losing her. And maybe I wanted to be found again." The bond between them grew slowly, like wildflowers blooming after drought. They talked under stars, rode horses into the horizon, and shared memories neither had spoken aloud in years. But when Ellie discovered the offer on her grandmother's land came from one of Cole's own companies, she felt betrayed. "So this was all a game," she shouted. "Get close to me, earn my trust, and then buy us out like everyone else?" "No." Cole stepped back, hands trembling. "I didn't know it was yours when the deal was made." "I swear it." But she didn't believe him. Not then. Ellie left the ranch the next morning, heart shattered. She returned to Austin, tried to forget the man who had healed parts of her she didn't know were broken. But healing is stubborn, it keeps showing you what was real, what mattered. Months passed. One day, a letter arrived. No return address. Just her name, and inside, a deed. It was the ranch. In her name. Free and clear. A note was scribbled at the bottom. "You said you didn't trust me. So I gave you the only truth I have left. Yours. Always, C." Ellie returned to the ranch with tears in her eyes and her heart pounding. Cole was there, as always, fixing a broken gate. He looked up when he saw her, pain and hope wrestling in his eyes. "You gave it all away?" she asked. I didn't, he said, walking toward her. I just gave it to the only person who ever made me want to feel again. She took a step forward. And what if I want more than just the land? He reached for her hand. Then you can have the rest of me, too.